So I'll be talking about a sword dagger thief build in this video. So basically right now, sword dagger and dagger pistol in my opinion are very good, both of them at the same time. Obviously though, sword dagger is a little bit more team fight oriented and dagger pistol is a little bit more +1 oriented. But both can do, the same thing, just one is a little bit better at the other. So normally I'll be playing the dagger pistol build, but that's because that's my personal preference of the playstyle. But sword dagger is really good, and I'll be showing in this match how I use the sword dagger to get kills and to be very slippery around the map. So yeah, we're going to start out, and immediately it looks like our warrior's going home, and I'm going to go to check out what's going on at far. So I see their rev is going there, and actually I'm pretty confident in taking the 1v1 versus a rev. So like SD thieves can kind of 1v1, but the thing is it's probably better for you to not 1v1, but I take this 1v1 anyways because it's a rev and I can win versus a rev, right? So this is actually a power rev with mace, so it's a very aggressive rev, and that's fine with me, to be honest, because I'm sword dagger thief, so I have plenty of evades. If I were like a DP thief, it might be a little bit more scary, but though they don't have staff, and a lot of the countering of sword dagger is to go through unblockables. So the fact that they're not staff is actually a benefit for them, but usually I would say that a staff is better for revs. But in this case, I win the 1v1 because it's kind of a hard counter, right? Deadly Arts Thief versus a rev, they just win by just stealing on them. So yeah, I win the 1v1, and at this point my team is 2v1ing their home, and we're losing mid, so we have sides potentially. The Reaper comes here, and I'm actually pretty confident in taking this 1v1 too, because Necros are actually pretty easy to 1v1 as a thief, not gonna lie, because, well, as SD thief, because an SD thief has a lot of sustained damage, and that's exactly what you need to kill Necros, is sustained damage, because they have a lot of sustain, and a lot of classes that don't do enough damage just run out of steam. But yeah, SD thief is very good versus that. And here I die because I think that was a no valid path or something. I think I was trying to port back onto the Necro from the side, but I didn't have the target or something. It was just really bad play by me, to be honest. I was trying to juke the ranger and I just died, so that was unfortunate. But my team is going to lose home, and we're getting snowballed into mid, so this is a really bad situation, and I'm going to look to get this kill on this rev in roads, just because I expect us to die on nodes. So I'm just trying to regain a little bit of the presence on the map. These are actually the situations that I want to be in, because thief is a SD thief is a team fighter, so these are actually the ideal situations. And here I don't really think that I can out res a Reaper's cleave, so instead I go for the kill to rally. I go for a shadow step stomp, and as you can see there, I went for a steal on the person who was rezzing, and because of that I got the D-target bug, and I actually didn't get the stomp, but just stealing into the LE that was rezzing was good enough. I didn't really need to stomp and steal there, but yeah, that's kind of unfortunate that that bug exists. So I go for the decap at far, and it looks like our Ellie is getting a decap at home, so we actually got something out of that team fight, which is pretty nice. I'm looking for a kill again now that I got the decap, and this Reaper is very low, so it's a very good target. No one's really on it with me though, so it's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, it does rally actually, so that's unfortunate. So I'm going to be a little bit outnumbered here. They've gotten the hammer, but that doesn't really make a big difference to me, to be honest, because we already didn't really have that many nodes. So we get the cleave here, and yeah, it just looks like they're going to try to res, and that's a bad play for them. However, my teammate does go down, and I'm in a 2v3, so it is dangerous. My teammate comes in, so now it's an even fight, but I'm still very pressured, and going down is the worst thing I can do, because then I lose all of my presence. Even if I, don't cleave as hard as possible, I need to not go down, right? Because then I lose my agency over that fight, and I'm just, relying on my team to carry me at that point. So we do get the kills there, because I play safe around the cleave situation, and now I'm trying to +1 home. Now if you notice, my whole team looks like they're leaving mid, and the enemy team is on respawn, so that's something you don't want to do, is not watch respawn. So I think we're going to lose mid for free, which means we wasted that whole fight for nothing. Okay, it looks like our Guardian is actually staying in mid, so that's good. Yeah, so he's going to be 1v2, and we're 3v1ing this Ellie here. We've got the full cap, so at this point I should just be leaving, because, it's an Ellie. They're not going to debunk the node very quickly, so we've got the full cap there. Ideally, my whole team should be leaving except one player to hold that, right? But the Ellie actually leaves, so that's kind of good for us. And now I'm in a 1v1 again versus the Reaper, because I go for the decap and they prevent me, but then I see that they use Shroud to get to me. And that means that there's 10 seconds left for them to get into Shroud, which means there's a 10-second window for me to burst them, and I could possibly win this 1v1 very fast. So I do get quite a bit of pressure on them because of that, and they're forced to kite up there, and because of that they have a predictable positioning where I can use cluster bombs to finish them off. So yeah, I win this 1v1 as well, because I just abused the distance that the Necro had to, cover to prevent me from decapping. And now I'm getting +1 by a Rev, and this is really scary, because a Necro downstate does a lot of damage, and a Revenant does a lot of damage. Like, Necro Rev is the scariest thing for me to be 1v2ing. And I try to disengage, but the Rev I know has Shiro up, so I put down my sword too to try to juke them, but they just, poured on me, and I'm going to die instantly. So if I had maybe like 2,000 health there instead of 500 or whatever, I would have been able to get out, because I could immediately port back as soon as they hit me. But because I was a little too pressured from the Necro downstate, I couldn't get out. So yeah, I die here in this 1v2, even though I get a kill on the Necro. It's really not that good, because the Necro is just going to respawn and then go to mid and kill my team, because they're not gaining enough presence in their fight that they're outnumbering, because our Ellie is actually capping home. So that's really bad for our team, and I'm deciding where I want to go. Home is being decapped already, so we're just kind of like getting nothing off of our rotations. I see that their Necro is very low, and I go in for the kill, but he has full Shroud, so I have to kind of delay. I see that they just left Shroud, so I go back in for the kill, and they dodge and just barely survive because they have the spectral armor, and I actually do a really bad steal here. So yeah, I made a huge mistake, and they get back into Shroud, so I don't actually get that kill, and now I've got a Revenant chasing me. So I'm trying to get the kill on the Necro still here. I've actually juked the Rev quite well by getting them to leave the fight, but my teammates really not doing any damage to the Necro. I'm kind of by myself, so at this point, yeah, their Ellie's on our home again, and we're not really getting that kill, so I'm looking to split their team here. I've got a Rev and a Necro chasing me again, and that's really dangerous. That's like, all their DPS classes are on me. So I'm just trying to survive right now, and I get a really nice port out, but I'm really low, and my decision making is really hampered by the fact that I'm so low HP, and I actually get a no valid path there, and I'm probably gonna die because of that. I'm gonna escape towards mid, but I decide to port back for some reason. I think that was a huge mistake, and I'm gonna die because now I've got, like, as you can see, there's like 3 people on my side of the map, and we're not really gaining anything at home because their Ellie is just trolling our team with the jump pads. And now our Necro is going to be outnumbered, and they're also going to get the bell, or the hammer. So this is really bad. Even though I stalled them in that kind of like chase situation for as long as I did, with the Necro and the Rev chasing me as far as they did, I didn't really get anything from my team, so that's kind of unfortunate. And at this point, my team is actually winning the hammer, which is good. So this isn't the worst because we can get decaps. But remember, on Skyhammer, decaps aren't really worth that much because you can just decap the point by yourself, right? So I go for the decap on mid anyways because I don't expect my team to win the hammer. But I go to the hammer, anyways, and just try to stall it. I see that the Necro is really low, but he's in Shroud, and I'm 1v3. So I'm going to have to give this up eventually. I use Dagger Storm to stall it as long as possible, but I intend to get out. And as you can see here, my teammates come in to stall, but it's not going to last very long. And I've got the Necro actually chases me out, so the guy on the bell is 1v2 now. And I've got the Revenant chasing me as well. So the Rev and the Necro are once again chasing me. And I get Jade Winded, but it doesn't really do anything. And I'm just looking to take this 2v2 now because we need to get some nodes. Like, we're wasting too much time for the hammer here. I get Jade Winded again, which doesn't really do anything. It just kind of shows me that the Rev is basically, he's tunnel visioning me. We get the kill on the Necro immediately, and I try to snowball to the Rev. The Rev goes to the kite spot, so I try to pepper them with cluster bombs and the stolen ability. So I land some nice cluster bombs here because I know their pathing is where they're, I can just put cluster bombs where they're about to go. And I don't actually get the kill, so that's unfortunate because even though I can win this 1v1, the Necro is just going to respawn and I'm going to be 1v2 versus the Necro and Rev again. And I cannot survive on node versus that. So as you can see here, the Necro's back. And I go on node and I know that the Rev is waiting to +1 me because he knows, I know he knows. And I'm just stalling at this point because as I know, I can't really win this in a very quick, manner because it's very dangerous. So I have to be careful with this situation. I go for the steal on the Rev because the Rev stolen ability is more aggressive, but I probably should have stolen to the Necro because the fear can help me survive longer. But I do end up, getting some nice pressure because of the Rev stolen ability, so it's not that bad. And at this point, I'm stalling a 1v2 for quite a while, and I'm actually potentially getting the kill here. I miss steal though, so at this point, if I miss steal, then I'm really far behind. Like, you can afford to miss steal in a 2v1, but not in a 1v2. So I leave that immediately and go to the bell. The Ranger puts his Warhorn on me, so I'm pressured, and I have to stay here in case there's someone camping me because I could die. I have no cooldowns. So I just wait here, just make sure that no one is coming in. We get the bell, or the hammer, and that means we get the decap on far. I'm being chased by the Necro at the moment, so I just have to, peel off with some Cloak and Dagger stealth, and then I see that we are in a 2v3, or is it? Yeah, it's a 2v3 at far. So I'm playing very safe just to stall the node. And at this point, we're in a 3v3 now. It's evened up, so I can go aggressive. So I'm pressuring the Rev right now. But their Necro is actually really low too. So the Necro goes down, but I've got the Revenant on me. So I have to play very safe. I don't want to go down, like I said, because then I lose all the agency of this encounter. So now that the Necro is down, I'm just trying to prevent them from rezzing it because we've got the node, we've got home, and mid is decapped. I go for a Cloak and Dagger there to make sure that the Ranger is not stomping my ally in stealth because that could turn the tides of this encounter. So I would be able to use Tactical Strike, which would daze them and interrupt them. But it turns out that they weren't stomping, so we just get the cleave and kill them. Now at this point, we were 3v2ing far, and then our team died 2v3 mid, so now we need to stall mid, but we also lost home and everyone left far, so our rotations are just very slow and they're not very proactive, they're very reactive. So we're going to lose because the enemy needs just 17 points to win, and I noticed that everyone left far, so now I need to go far and stall that because if they cap the node, they win. But I get pushed on by the Ranger as well as the Reaper, and me with almost no cooldowns and no health, that just means I'm just going to die immediately. So this is a lost game because I cannot live on node 1v3. I would just feed. So at this point, we lose the game, but this shows a little bit how SD Thief makes use of mobility to create the outnumbered situations that it wants, whereas opposed to DP Thief, it uses stealth to kind of mind game the enemy, whereas just SD just brute forces it. So yeah, that is pretty much it. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you want more of these. Also leave a comment down below if you like SD or DP better, or if you think one is better in the meta. I think currently this is actually kind of an SD meta, to be honest, because there's still a lot of tanky classes like Prot Hollows, and Firebrand is still very good. You have a lot of DHs actually, and Unblockable is very good versus them. Rangers are very strong as well, however, so DP is actually better versus Rangers, but I think SD is better versus a lot of other things like Revenants, because of the fact that the SD build takes Deadly Arts, so you have Improv, and then versus Mesmers, obviously, which aren't even that meta, having Double Glob is really good. So there's that.